What's going on with everybody? It's your boy Eric, aka Young God, coming to you in the Green Dungeon, giving it to you real raw, rugged, and it's a little different setup. I know you see some paintings on the side right there, but I'm gonna let the person on the FaceTime call introduce himself, man. Who we got?
It's Mark Kedrick, contemporary artist. Uh, raised in Atlanta. Here to do this interview, man. So
Hey, man. For the people who I have interviewed, if they by any chance looking at his interviews, take no offense to this, but I'm interested in your craft. But on
right,
top of that, I'm interested into you as a person. Just through your Instagram, you have very interesting ideology and thoughts, and I'm just hyped to talk about it. So before we even get into anything, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, man. Blessed, I've been working on a lot of stuff, so I'm excited to talk about it, and I've been learning a lot too. So it's perfect timing.
Okay. So where you was born in Atlanta, right? If I'm not mistaken, or are you not? I think you was born in Arkansas, right?
I was born in Arkansas, raised in Atlanta, Cobb County. So um, you could say I'm from Atlanta, pretty much. But my roots trace back to Arkansas. So.
How was it growing up in Atlanta?
It was cool, man. I was around a bunch of different type of people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I grew up with different cultures, different races, um, which shaped me
Mhm.
mentally, and creatively. So that was a lot different than where I was born. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um, so Atlanta is like it's a melting pot. So that was
Okay.
really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I guess to like start off on why I think you're interesting. I see you say this a couple times. Now I don't know a lot of visual artists. I know a couple people that do art, but the only person I know that does art like personally that makes money off of it is one of my best friends, Spencer McMullen. So I don't really know too many people in the art world. And I see that you like to say that you're a real nigga, like you're the real nigga that do art. You're a real nigga who do art.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
is there a lot of real niggas in the art industry? Because every time I see an artist, they don't look real nigga to me. They like some lame niggas. So you
Yeah.
you tell me, are you in an industry full of real niggas? Or are you in an industry full of niggas that you can't really see eye to eye with?
I don't really relate to a lot of them, but I've learned so much about history and this simulation that we're in, so I understand why these guys are how they are.
Mm.
Um, Many of them didn't grow up right. So first off, it starts with your parenting. It
Yeah.
does. It traces back to your parents and their parents. And there's a part of it is society's society's pattern. You see what I'm saying? They're pushing certain things, and if you have a people, that have no direction, um, they'll kind of just follow certain things, and try and not necessarily know what to reach for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so when I see a lot of these guys, to me, they're reaching, um, and that could be because they don't have a foundation. See, I always had a foundation. Um, so art was never something that was a reach for me. It was never something that I had to try to do. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was balanced in life. My parents balanced me out as a man, um, and made me focus on being a man before an artist. And so art came naturally to me. A lot of these guys, art doesn't come natural. So I think that's the difference. And when I say I'm real, you know, I feel like I was doing art before it was cool. You see what I'm saying? Before it was a like mass money making machine for everyone. See,
Mm-hmm.
when I was growing up, art was exclusive. You see what I'm saying? It was real estate. Um, and now, since they've commercialized it, it's more so you know, it's an industry now. Art was never meant to be an industry to me. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so you got a whole lost people just feeling accepted, wanting the fastest, quickest way to get money. You know, and to me it's turned into business. But see, growing up how I did, I didn't I didn't expect art to turn into this. I didn't. didn't see art how these guys see it. So I guess a good background story about me. I've been drawing and painting since I was 7. Okay, so uh, drawing started for me for as long as I can remember, and my mother put me in extracurricular classes with this lady named Phyllis. Um, she taught me from when I was 7 until I was 18. Um, so as I'm growing up my whole life, um, I was always learning art every single year. I was learning Da Vinci when I was 7 years old. I was learning Picasso and all of their sketches and all of their studies when I was a little boy.
Mm-hmm.
And so as I grew up, it was just a real thing for me. It was natural to be an artist, to like artistic things. You see what I'm saying? While these guys were cool and athletes and like having the time of their life in high school, I was really growing so that when I became an adult, I could be a real artist and paint, a great. You see what I'm saying? So it all goes back to how these people were raised, and I just feel like I had a different start. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've been drawing and painting every single year of my life for the past 18 years. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of these artists don't have that same setup and that same storyline, which makes them not as sure, not as real, not as, you know what I'm saying? They're just jumping into this, and I've went through every artistic medium, you know, so I can have a voice that's definite. You see what I'm saying?
I feel like I want to touch on foundation, but before I get there, just want to get a little lighthearted conversation. Outside of art, what are you into? Like anything that interests you outside of art when you're not drawing, painting, just your hobbies and things that you may have fun with.
Really music, music and sports, really.
Okay. You play sports?
Yeah, so I was really good in sports my whole life.
What do you play?
I played baseball, basketball, football, um, and I ran track. So, um, and through my life, it kind of switched. I started playing baseball and basketball, and then as I got older, high school, I started doing football and track.
Okay.
So I was real competitive growing up.
Okay. I mean, you might have me on the canvas, but hey, man, we on the court. You know, if somebody come to Atlanta, you know, hit you with a couple moves. You know what I'm talking about, man? Hey, man, if I come to Atlanta, I think that's something we got to do, man. I need some more footage on the YouTube. You know what I'm saying, man? Get buckets on you real quick, man. You know what I'm saying?
You definitely need the hoop, man.
Yeah, I definitely that would be a fun thing. So do you you said also music? Do you make music or you just like listening to music?
No, my homies made music when I was growing up, and like, I have a lot of people in the music industry that I know. So I'm around it, but I don't try to make.
Okay.
I could if I when I'm playing it, like when I was younger and stuff like that. Never for real.
Okay.
I don't like it like that.
You don't like it like that. All right. Well, foundation. Why I said I want to come back to that is because why I said I was hyped for this is because just looking through your Instagram, just seeing things you say, I get a sense that when I consider foundation is like your upbringing, how you were raised, and things that you can't change, as in your skin color. And I get a sense that you really care for your black people. Is that right or wrong?
That's right.
All right. So I really care and I love black people too. And I think that I don't know when you say you was a real nigga, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I like the fact that he's actually not also doing art but pushing his ideologies and narrative. Even people they may disagree. I like the fact that you're trying to better black people because I feel like there's a lot of black people that's famous that don't really care about other black people unless they're also famous because it's like, why would I care about, this broke nigga? Like, nigga, I got money. So the fact that you actually try to push the narrative of, I guess black love, black power, I think that's beautiful because when I get at a point to where I'm bigger than I am right now, which God to be blessing me that I'm at that point in my life at one point, I want to be at the point where I'm helping black people, loving black people. So I just want, before we get to this conversation, I just want to thank you for, just spreading the black love and, black positivity. I just want to thank you for that, man.
Hey, no doubt, for sure, brother. Thank you, no doubt, man.
So I was looking through your story, or one of your stories, and me and my friend was looking through it because I was like, yeah, I'm finna interview this guy. If you got some questions, I'm seeing your Instagram. We look through your stories, and I'm not gonna lie. You say some things that I'm like, that's interesting, and I don't want to call them crazy. So I'm gonna ask you so you can clarify it for me, right? So I guess you were talking about mental illness and how you don't think that's a real thing, and it's just something that's peddled by, I guess, psychiatrists and the medicine industry to put you on things and whatnot. While I agree with that, just off that face value, you can explain it more. No, no, no. I was about to say you can explain the face more, but you can explain it a little bit more. But off face value, while I agree with that, I think that you may be making a false equivalency by saying there's no mental illnesses. Because I do think that the drug company definitely wants people on pills. Cause like, okay, okay, yeah, go ahead and fuck what I'm saying. You go ahead and clear it up for me.
But okay, let me say everything that I say is passed down from my teachers.
Okay, okay,
So nothing is my information.
okay,
So when I'm teaching, people have to learn that I'm not saying it.
okay,
So it's facts.
okay,
So this
okay.
is what it is.
Let me know.
An illness is derived from a physical substance
Okay.
that you can obtain. An
Mhm.
illness. That's where illness comes from. There's no mental illness. It's mental disorder.
Okay.
It's a disorder of the mental state. It's not mental illness. That's not a physical possible thing.
Okay.
That they've gotten you with that, and then people like me that understand words sound wild or crazy to people that don't understand words. Now, etymology is the origin of words and the study of words.
Mhm.
I study etymology, which means
Yeah.
I understand how they're using these words to trap you.
Mhm.
Okay, and they're calling these things mental diseases, mental illnesses, so they can fund and make money off of that. When you don't have a mental illness, you have a mental disorder, meaning it can be reordered.
Mm.
They don't want you to know this. They're making money from you having a mental problem when we all have mental problems. They diagnose children mental disorders before they can develop their brain. What are they doing? They're making money. They're fucking us and they're making money, and it's simple because we don't know, or we haven't worked hard enough to dig out of the simple surface value bullcrap.
So
We didn't have psychiatrists in the old days, or there was
yeah,
no,
fact.
meaning we don't need it, meaning we have to wake up. If it wasn't there at the beginning, clearly it's not real. It's not real. It's not, because we got along for thousands and hundreds of thousands of years without it. These people that have made this stuff have only been here for a very little time, and we're running after this type of, we're living that culture
Mhm.
without knowing what's real and what's not.
Okay.
Illness is physical. Disorder is a different thing.
So when you say disorder can be reordered, does that mean that it could be, I guess, reversed to make it like back to normal?
You can be brought back to your natural state for sure.
Okay, so this is just something I thought about. I know this girl, she was born with a chemical imbalance, so her like brain is just crazy. So she might just go like haywire 1 minute. She might be happy 1 minute. So I guess her natural state at birth was a chemical imbalance. So would you also say that's a mental disorder, not a mental illness, since she was
I would
actually
say
born with like
that's
a
not her
capability?
I would say that's not her natural state,
Okay.
because you have to understand that things are passed down.
Mhm.
Nobody started with a fresh slate.
Yeah.
It's passed down from your parents. Okay.
Yeah.
Meaning you have to reverse the whole people, because we're birthing defected children. We are. Your kid, you have cancer before you're born.
Yeah.
It's going to grow. You know what I'm saying? Your parents. So trauma is passed down through DNA. These are things that we don't learn, but you have to learn from a real like teachers. I've learned from real monks, real Muslims, real teachers like that. That go. So we must first learn the science of real life. You pass down everything.
Mhm.
You put it to that's how genetics work. People have some miraculous thought, or thought like you just start over and you just, no, it's passed down from your parents. So I would say that's not her natural state.
Okay.
Her parents, you have to reverse the whole thing. If your parents ate pork and crazy shit, it's gonna pass down to the children, even if they don't eat it. Your baby could have never eaten pork, but it's definitely passing down.
Yeah, I feel you.
That's the science of it. You know what I'm saying?
So my fault. Keep going.
Meaning nature is way different than what we're living.
I was gonna say, so would you suggest like natural remedies for these people to get put back in their natural state?
For sure, natural remedies, naturopathic doctors, the hospital, yeah, the hospitals and all that stuff. We gotta learn. We have to learn. We have to learn who owns these things. We have to learn what they're doing. We have to learn what it means. What's really going on? Why do you go to the hospital and get fixed, but you're still hurting? Why would they help you if they're getting paid off? They wouldn't help you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So we have to learn. We have to understand what's best for us. It's not best to pay a doctor to keep you sick.
Mm-hmm.
You're paying him to keep you sick because you pay his bills.
I
You know
feel
what
like
I'm saying?
I feel like the crazy shit that I witnessed. I had like kind of like bad acne, and they did a lot of things. It could never be helped, and they put me on this pill called Accutane, and it was like let's read down some of the side effects that may happen. I'm like, all right, cool.
They happen, yeah.
Man, I'm talking about it went from like coughing, feeling a little dizzy to you may want to commit suicide. I'm like, what? Like I'm about to commit suicide? I'm like, what's going on?
How do they know that?
I don't know. There was like a couple rare cases may have led to people wanting to commit suicide. It was just like all type of crazy stuff. Like when you taking a boo boo, you may have blood coming out your booty. I'm like, yo, I don't know if I want to take this no more, man. I just want my face clear. So it's definitely some shady stuff going on in the drug business, and I 100% agree with that. It's a lot of that.
They're drugs.
Yeah, like you said, they're definitely 100% drugs.
but they tricked our brains into feeling like that's a nice drug.
Mm-hmm.
Black people are doing the bad type of drugs.
Yeah.
Drugs. Everybody's on there. They're all on drugs. A pill is drugs. So
How,
I'm not. No,
now I was about to say, how do you feel about therapy and things like that?
that's great.
Okay.
But I think we have to understand that the person that if you're paying somebody to do something, you can't really trust that. I'm sorry. I mean, you can trust it, but you have to take that with what that comes. That's the person's business. So you can only trust that so much to where you take it into your own hands. So to me, I understand meditation more than therapy. I don't want to go to somebody else to tell me how to. No, it don't work like that because they have their own spiritual body.
Because I had an idea a while ago where I think that a lot of rappers that come up, they're from hoods, and they struggle with things like PTSD, probably depression, anxiety, but they don't know how to deal with it because in the hood you don't really talk about like your mental problems or stuff like that. You like nigga, you depressed, nigga, you soft it. It will kill you, whatever. So I thought that a lot of these rappers, when they get in the limelight, they're living a different life. They don't know how to go from hood living to I have millions of dollars in my bank account. Like it's probably paranoid. A lot of things that go along with that. So I had an idea that I wanted like a rehab center for rappers, black artists, anybody that's coming up from like a bad impoverished neighborhood to now being rich, because I know for a fact they just don't forget about I seen my homeboy die. I got money now. I don't remember that. Like they still remember that stuff. So I always thought that like building a rehab with like therapists, but I wanted the therapists to be people from like hoods and people that will understand them, because you can go and talk to like some white lady that was born in the suburbs. She may help you, she may not help you, but I feel like when you're talking to somebody that you understand, it helps you so much more, because I think that's one of the biggest problems in the black community is that a lot of us don't have guidance, and a lot of us don't have anybody to talk to. A lot of us don't have, because a lot of people don't have dads and things like that, so their dad is like their OG in the streets, but that OG also didn't grow up with no daddy, so he giving him bad advice too. So I just think that, I don't know, I always thought that like a rehab center or something where people can just express their feelings to, because although I agree that meditation is great, I do think that there's also a benefit into expressing your feelings to somebody, because when you get something off your chest, you sometimes feel better. I don't know, I just want to see how you felt about that.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't think we should call it rehab.
What you say?
See, rehab is a very European,
Okay.
new, like monetary. It's bad. No,
Okay.
you don't need to rehab. You don't need to be rehabilitated. You need to be consoled and talked to and fellowship with. We don't need that crazy stuff.
I mean, we could definitely call it RNC, real nigga consoling. You know what I'm saying? You go to a real nigga consoling building.
But don't. And the key is this: it's vibrations, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't. If we put ourselves on we need to be lifted. We're hurting. That's the vibration that you're accepting.
Okay.
When you say that we're all black guys, you see what I'm saying? I know that we're all guys. It's the thing. Huey Newton said, any black person that's here today is the strongest of all black people ever in history. because we are the ones that survived the craziest times for a black
Yeah.
for a black person on earth. So there's no sympathy to me when I'm looking at my black brothers. You see what I'm saying? You don't need no damn therapy. You need a real ass man. You need a real brother to teach you, because knowledge changes feelings. Okay, so what you know changes how you feel. They feel helpless. They don't know they're a god. They don't know they survived 700 years of the worst conditions on earth. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they're feeling helpless. I don't feel that way. I don't look at no brother and be like, he needs therapy. That's some weak shit. Well, you don't need no. Can't nobody tell you no gangster shit about you. You need some brothers that can all come together, like Farrakhan did the Million Man March.
Mm.
None of them were out there looking for therapy, my boy. They was out there on some gangster shit. Like, yo, we need to change this shit, because it ain't no. This ain't reality. It's just it's situational.
See, but look, I think that's a problem though, because I don't want to look at therapy as like some soft ass nigga shit, because I feel like
It's not soft. It's only it's accepting a certain role when you don't have to accept that role when you're a god. You're like, you're here.
What do you mean you say? What do you mean you say accepting?
I mean, if you knew you were a god, you wouldn't need therapy.
Mm.
You don't know you're a god, so you feel like you need it. When you know something, you feel differently. It literally, when you learn something, you see it everywhere.
Yeah.
you feel what you know changes feeling. If you know something about something, you feel different. Meaning, if we all walked around knowing we were gods, there would be no man that felt like he was there. It just wouldn't be there. Meaning, we don't know enough as a people to help ourselves before we run into some therapy. Because you're gonna run to another person that don't know enough.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I definitely feel that.
It's that simple. And my thing is, do we want to keep repeating it and keep sheltering it? Like, yo, we need to come on, y'all. We need to keep helping black people, or do we want to wake up and fix the cycle?
Mm-hmm.
Now, to fix it, you got to make a complete change. It can't be like let's just get black people to come on, string on. We get better. No. We're the whole thing. So we need to make it. We need to say boom. I don't vibrate on those frequencies no more. So that's not my reality no more. I'm in a community, right? They call it the conscious community. And I understand it now because it's a community. Because your spiritual becomes physical.
Yeah, I feel that.
I don't manifest none of those lower vibrations, meaning you don't have to. Meaning the white folk that started this whole thing, they knew that. We didn't know that. We just living like, damn, y'all, we gotta be okay. No, we need to change our minds, and we need to fix the problem. We're not destroyed as a people. We don't need therapy. We need knowledge. We need knowledge, not therapy. You wanted therapy, they just gonna, you know who like pity people that are in a miserable situation. It likes company. Misery likes company. So therapy just sets up a misery center. You need gods and kings talking to the slaves, and we need that, bro. We need like men like me talking to the OG rich man talking to the poor little boy. We don't need no therapy.
That's therapy though. That's because
not therapy.
You don't think that's therapy?
No. That's fellowshipping. That's family. That's community. That's community. That's not therapy.
What's your definition of therapy? Because I feel like when you
have one, they made one. You see what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
It's a definition.
I get where you're coming from. Okay.
Understand me? It's a definition for it. That's a white term, bro. This is their culture. they were here with defects and problems naturally by how they got upon the earth. So they need that. We didn't need that. We're at disorder.
I feel that.
We're not messed up. We're at disorder. I mean, the order's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
When the order Farrakhan said it best. They know that if they leave black folks alone, we'll naturally come back to righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
If you just leave us alone, but what happens? It's always black on black because there's a plant. There's a seed planted in between us to part us.
Mm-hmm.
Divide and conquer. The problem is not us, and the problem is not that we messed up. We just haven't switched the cycle because we don't know. You see what I'm saying? And he said once they leave us alone and we finally get back to teaching and being families, we don't even have families no more. So it's like therapy ain't the problem; it's the knowledge of ourselves. And then there is no need for therapy. There's no disorder. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There would be no. I mean, we know most autism is caused by vaccines. But what do we have black people doing? Going to the hospital, and what are they getting? Vaccines. Stop doing that. If you have knowledge of yourself, if you have knowledge of what's going on in the hospitals, your child won't have autism. We will start to become back natural. This is what it is. There was a war on nature. There still is a war on nature. Everything that's natural, they're trying to. See what I'm saying? Meaning, the black man's mind is naturally a strong one. They're weakening that shit, bro.
I definitely feel that.
They weaken black men. It's like, oh my god, y'all, we need to come on, we need to help ourselves. No, we need to learn, bro. It's that simple. We need to learn, and there's no need for help.
I don't even have to ask you this because I could tell, but I could tell that you're like your ideology would align with, like, if it was 1970s, you would be like a Black Panther, right?
For sure. I mean, this is the thing. People think about this, right? Tupac, Miles Davis, Michael Jackson, Prince, Little Richard, Malcolm X. These are all men that talk how I talk, and they're not just black. They're artists. They're real men, though. They're leaders. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We gotta wake up because we like them after they did, but we don't know anything. The shit they talking about is what I'm spitting back out from their souls and their spirits. But you got people that's kind of dead, so they don't know that they love these people. They don't even know why they love these people. I know so much about Miles Davis' ideology that I'm like, wait, y'all love him, but y'all hate the shit that I'm doing.
I say the same thing about Muhammad Ali. I'm like, I don't understand why white people love Muhammad Ali. He was saying some crazy stuff, or he was saying crazy stuff.
He was beating people up for them, so it's making money because his team is all white. So, but I don't understand. My thing is about black people. It's like y'all like these people, but you don't learn your leaders. You don't learn it. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you don't really love them because when you got a man like me or like Kanye, you got a man like Kanye talking some sense. They cannot hear it at all. Just like they did with Michael Jackson, just like they did with Tupac, just like they did with Prince, all these people.
See, I was definitely finna do like the smoothest transition to one of your paintings, but now that you brought up Kanye, I don't want to do it, but I disagree with it, man. Like the TMZ clip, we gonna touch on it real quick, man, because I wanted to talk about the paintings, but I just gotta talk about it because I want your perspective on it. Okay. My whole thing was the slavery was a choice thing. So I know it could be flipped in separate ways, and mental slavery or physical slavery. But I seen he went on Twitter the next day, and he started talking about I forget his name. What's the slave that led the revolt?
Nat Turner.
Nat Turner. Yeah, Nat Turner. He started talking about Nat Turner, and he was talking about how if there was more Nat Turners, slavery wouldn't have been the same thing because it would have been people awakened and revolted, right? But I thought that was kind of not. I was like, that was kind of ignorant to say, just because of the fact that I know Nat Turner was an educated slave. He also, like, he knew how to read, knew how to write. He also knew the land because his slave master would make him travel all around and go preach to other slaves. So he knew what route to go if they was going to do a route to, you know what I'm saying? So he knew different things that other people wasn't privy to. So if you're not educated, you wouldn't have the mind state to think, I am a god, I could be uplifted. Right. So the fact that he had the knowledge to be a knowledgeable person and knew the lands, I think that was a different case. So to compare him to other slaves, I think that's just not a correct thing to do.
Well, you gotta, as his brother, you gotta understand what you mean, though.
That's what I'm saying. Help me.
We have to. This is the first thing we have to do. We have to stop condemning our brothers, man.
Okay. I never tried to. I know.
Listen, I know you don't try to, but the thing is, you have to try not to. You have to. It's a war, bro. We're in war. And black folks helping their ass by being confused. And we don't have to agree with him. I don't care about what no man say like that. I don't care. First off, so I never have like my opinion has to match his. I don't care about what he says.
Oh, of course.
But I understand it from a neutral.
Before you even continue, I think the reason that I feel so strongly about it is because he was involving other black people in very important time in black history. And it just sounded like when he said it, I seen other like white people just like, oh yeah, he's right, and it's just like now you aligning yourself with their ideology, so that's what kind of got me, and it's just like, well, come on, man.
Yeah, I feel it. I can clear it up though, because I think I have a good perspective on it.
Okay.
I understand. And the thing is, he's a Gemini too, and he's an artist, and he's a black man, and he's with a white family. He's in a crazy situation, Okay, so he's not in his 100% right state of mind, but his soul is screaming out, and we need to learn from that. We don't understand that. Everybody's so desensitized and so clickbait and so quick to hop on people. We don't hear the soul. We don't. We're like, he talking crazy, but it's like, what is his soul saying right there? Now, when we listen to it, I'm a great listener. He didn't say slavery was a choice. He never said that. He never said slavery was a choice. That's ignorant. What he said was slavery for 400 years. That sounds like a choice to me.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a choice to me. At that point, nobody can say anything. He said it. He said that sounds like a choice to me.
Okay.
It sounds like one to me. For 400 years, you guys didn't say, "Hey, let's leave." If you look at it like that, it's neutral. You can't. I don't. That's what I'm saying. But when it's like click and it's hot, it was hot. It's like I get it. It's I understand that, but I also have so much knowledge that I'm not offended by that. I understand a slave crying out. He is Nat Turner. You know what Harriet Tubman said? She said, "I would have freed more slaves."
But they knew they weren't slaves. Yeah.
But they did know they were slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, this is what Kanye is trying to say. He just don't know how to say it.
He's bad at trying to word certain stuff in interviews. So yeah.
We have to know that, and not we have to know that. If we know that, why we can't take it serious? We can't take it serious. We can't.
It was just, like I said, it was just. I guess when you start talking about slavery, I think you get to an emotional point. It's just like, come on, man. You know, it's like.
I don't know enough though. I get it. I understand that. I understand. The thing is, understanding is the key. I understand all of it because I know enough to see all the angles.
Yeah.
If you say something and people don't know enough, they're gonna flip. It's that simple. If you know something and you tell somebody something, but you don't tell them the whole thing, you know they're gonna flip. He don't. I know enough to understand why he messed up, and I understand what he meant in a good way. He just meant, till this day, you got slaves that are paid to be slaves, and they still like want to be free, but they're like, "Oh, I have this job though." That's paid slavery. You don't want to do something, but you do it because the white man already got it set up for you. You get a job because a white man has it set up for you, and you can come join his team, and then I'll give you money. You don't do it because you love that job. A lot of people don't. You see what I'm saying? So what he's saying is like, just fall off on slavery, but the concept is, damn, 400 years and y'all stayed a slave. To me, if I'm being honest and speaking freely, which I should be allowed to, that sounds like a choice.
Yeah.
Everybody goes, he said it's slavery. It's a choice. He didn't say it's a choice. Clearly, it's not a choice. But I understand why they took it that way, because the media helps do that. They do that for us to get mad at each other. They do that. TMZ does that. They wanted us to go against our brother and be like, this nigga crazy. He's not crazy. He also admitted to being on opioids, all these crazy drugs that they put him on. Now we don't know nothing about that either, so we can't judge it right. But if you know about that, my Muslim brothers teach me about that. Now they give these stars certain drugs to kill them. Opioids. They give all these artists drugs to kill them. Michael Jackson, Prince, Whitney Houston. They do that. So they was giving Kanye those same drugs. Rush did a 72-hour rush to the hospital where he couldn't see any of his people. He woke up on like 7 different drugs. Yeah. And then he gets addicted to liposuction, or then he tries to get liposuction for TMZ. All this crying out stuff, but you got black people condemning him like he's crazy. I'm like, we should understand that he's going through war. It's serious. It ain't no just clickbait, whatever. He's going through war. That's a black leader that said something about Bush on live TV. Okay. So they've been had it out for him. He got a white family. His mom died. Like, it's deep, and it's like it's a Malcolm X, like Michael Jackson, Tupac shit. It's not like some just clickbait fantasy. Like, oh my God, y'all, because they want to care about some shit that Kanye say. They don't think about the black struggle for real. They don't look it up every day.
Nobody really cares about black people.
And that's why I get it, being in simulation, but we have to understand that we can't come out the woodwork and jump on Ye when he says something about black, because he always think about it. I'm always thinking about it. So when I say something, they be like, "What you talking about, nigga? I research this shit all day, every day. I know." Because I got homies that think they kind of woke, or like they be trying to, but it's like I research this a lot. So the reality to me, what's going on. that's all Kanye was saying. That's all these leaders were saying. That's what we have to get to as a people. We have to get back to listening to each other.
Now you bring up history, and I think that one of my favorite paintings by you is when all the white people are standing around a black guy. He's like on a, let's say, like a surgeon table or something. I don't know what this means, but it looked hard. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm all for it. I don't know what it means, but it looked like something I'm for. So if you can, it looks like they're painting his body, or they're either, because it's like his stomach is cut open. So what I took from it was either that's like a paintbrush in his hand, or it's either a scalpel. But I'm gonna assume it's a paintbrush, and they're like trying to repaint his history. Is that what that means? I'm not really for sure.
Okay, look at it closely. It's like a pair of doctor scissors.
Oh, it's the doctor says. Okay, okay.
Look at it really close. It's a pair of doctor scissors, and what they're doing is they're doing an operation on him. So they're studying him. They're studying his scientific makeup, and that I'll leave the rest to you. But that's
I feel no, I get where you come from already. Yeah,
the guy in the hospital bed is me.
It was you.
Yeah. So if you look at those paintings are cool because you have to spend time and look at them deeply.
Really look at it.
Yeah, and then it resonates because those kind of paintings move. So that's the point of classical paintings is movement. So that your eye travels through it and you get familiar with it. Now with that piece in particular, it's like there's like drawings on the back paper where it shows the Da Vinci drawing the man, the Vitruvian man or whatever, and then there's like the guys with the collar, which are the Dutchmen, and then it's me on the hospital bed. All to create movement. You see what I'm saying? So
I don't. No, I was about to say, I don't know how long we've been doing this so far, but for the people watching this, and it's just like, whoa, like, they're talking a lot about like black people and black stuff. Hey, nigga, get over it, man. Just that, we talking that talk. But I guess the kind of I don't know, like before we even get out of this, I hope I didn't like before we start really talking about your paintings, I hope I didn't overbear you with this like black tops or anything, did I?
Nah, honestly, man, this is the thing. I know that. I mean, me, it's about brain capacity. I study a lot. I ain't talked to nobody that can talk me out of my league. So this ain't nothing. I'm chilling.
Because I didn't know if you were expecting this or not. So that's why I was like, I hope I'm not. Okay.
I expect that when I talk to everybody on Earth, honestly now. When you conscious, you can't play not conscious.
Okay.
I can't play like I don't vibrate on low frequencies. I just be like, yeah, okay. But when it's there, I'm all ears.
Okay. The first ever painting I ever saw by you was your Young Thug painting, and I don't know how I seen that. I don't know where I seen it at, but I thought it was just really like funny and cool because he was he was like a classical painting of Thug, and I'm like, who did this? I'm not sure how I found your page or how I even linked it back to you, but I did. So I was a big fan of that painting though, but I just want to ask you, how did that even come about?
So that was a little identity search, just trying to figure out how to mesh my two styles together. My hip hop, my hip hop upbringing and like my classical upbringing. Because I study a lot of classical art while listening to hip hop. So just pulling influences and stuff like that, grabbing a few references. And I'm the hardest artist, you know what I mean? That's what a lot of painters do. Back in the day, just to paint the hardest artist. And Thug had like that crazy style, so I just came to me. His collar would look crazy. There's something wear in real life.
See, I feel like every one of your paintings, they have like some deeper meaning. Cause I don't know if anybody caught this, but you also have another painting where Mike Will is like the maestro in the room. He's like the middle. It's like a whole bunch of rappers, right? But I'm looking and I'm like, do I see like Riff Raff's head floating in the background? Am I tripping, or is that Riff Raff?
That's Riff Raff for sure.
Why is that Riff? Like, why Riff Raff? It got to be a meaning behind that.
Okay, nah, that's the So every painting has a story, and like moments. That whole painting is it's like a reenactment of Mike Will's listening party or like album release party
For Ransom?
Ransom 2.
Okay, Ransom 2, yeah.
So I did the album artwork and the cover art. I did like I painted the jacket for him and did the inside cover art, album art. but that was basically Mike Will conducting and orchestrating all of his musicians and playing the music for him. So there's like 2 Chainz in there on his phone looking at lyrics. Lil Wayne drinking some of his cup. I got Bankroll Fresh on the back wall in one of the frames too. Just to show like Bankroll had already passed by then.
Okay.
Right? So that's the story behind that one. It's basically just a big listening party. And so back in the day, they used to do classical musical paintings, similar to how listening parties are. So I just wanted to update that.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you? Yeah, that was hard. How are you and Mike Will cool, or how did you guys even meet?
I grew up kind of running through Atlanta, just with my homeboys that did photography, and worked at this boutique, Wish, probably. When I was about 15, 16, just grew up in the city pretty much. And then I just linked up with this one group, 2-9, and just, became friends and met Mike Will through the rappers in that group.
I don't mean to interrupt. So you know Reese?
Yeah, I know Reese.
I fuck with Reese. Yeah, that's my dog. Yeah, I fuck with Reese.
I know. Yeah, I pretty much know all of them, man. Because I knew since I was younger. Time goes on, you just grow up and stuff like that. But me and Mike did like one project together, I think, for Rihanna or something like that. I feel like he commissioned me for some other stuff. But we just got real cool and he just started commissioning me. Started hanging out with him and stuff like that. And ever since then, whenever he need like some type of art stuff, he just hit me up.
Okay.
I did a few music videos for him too. That's what it was.
Remember which ones?
I did the Gucci on my music video, the one in the mansion with like with the Migos and YG.
Yeah.
I did a few. I did some. I think the Black Beatles, I had a piece in that one too. A painting in that one. And then I did the Nothing Was Promised, Rihanna, cover art for that one for her through my YouTube. So yeah, he used to give me jobs and stuff like that.
That's all right. So like I said, I don't know if this was before the interview or during the interview, but this is like my first time interviewing a visual artist. So I'm trying to figure out how to do this. But I see you got like a painting in the background. I don't know if I see you got like the big I don't know art words. You got like the big thing where you draw stuff right there. So if you got anything you want to show, or if you don't want to show it, whatever. But if you got anything hanging around the house that you want to, let people know if they don't know your art, if they want to see like, oh, what does my art look like? Even though I had it right there. If you want to show them like some things you're either working on, you got done around the house, feel free to do that.
Right. Let me show you this little drawing real quick.
All right, bet.
So I paint, but I started off drawing my whole life. So right now I have this. It's like a classical scene I'm working on. I'm trying to gear up for my next series of work, and this is how I typically start, with a bunch of drawings and concepts and ideas. So this is this is one of the first ones.
That's hard.
Yeah, this one's crazy. It's a woman being tied down to this barrel. And these men are trying to free her, but they get taken away, type thing. And then I got this next one over here. And this is the other one that I've been working on. This one's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that looks really well. What's in your hand? Was that like a tusk or something?
Yeah, elephant tusk.
Yeah, okay.
So it's these men that are fighting in the street. It's kind of about like the hood, like like gang. It's really a gang fight concept with a classical twist. There's no modern weapons, but on the ground there's going to be a bunch of guns and like knives and modern weapons, but they're going to be using all old weapons.
I think that's hard that you do that like a lot of your things are classical themed, but they can also be addressed, or they can also be put in today's society also, you know what I'm saying?
And that's the importance of art, man. You gotta tap into the masters, because the people before us did it better.
Yeah.
They did it better. We just got a whole different setup, so I'm trying to be on my Da Vinci level
Okay.
with this new setup. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's hard.
Because we got a lot of the same type of movement and things going on with the violence and stuff. We just don't capitalize on it as well as they did back in the day. Um, so that's really my goal.
Yeah, no, that's hard. That's definitely hard.
Um, yeah, the rest of the stuff got to is like set up. I really gotta get better lighting in my apartment. Right now, I got a lot of my work set up at a boutique.
Okay.
Where like my friends help me show.
Okay.
I don't know. Have you heard of Manier?
The name sounds familiar.
Manier. It's a boutique on Marietta Street. Yeah, I just show work in there as a gallery type of thing.
Okay. Well, anything else you got to say before we get out of here? Because I feel like we've talked a lot. I feel like people definitely know you a little bit better. But if anything I left out, please let me know.
Nah, man, y'all pretty much know the history of me and what I stand for in my work. Get everybody to follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of my updated stuff on there. I sell work through this website called Behance. Where it's like a portfolio-based website. I have that connected to my Instagram, so get people on my Instagram and just have everybody stay updated. I'm working on a new series right now, and it's gonna be my best series yet.
Okay.
I'm really because it's gonna be a lot of these ideas I showed you in the sketchbook. But I've been doing small scale work, but now I'm starting to take them life size, and that's gonna be important because that's gonna be like my next step in my career, So, and that's where a lot of artists get their start, those big canvases, and those big museums and big galleries. So that's next for me, So.
Okay. Well, until next time, everybody. I say what I mean what I say. Haters